Well, it must be your music.
Yeah, probably. Or maybe he's asking for Latin music. I don't know. But I think they can hear us. Say something, guys.
Oh, are we live?
J-Pie warning.
Hey, we're here. The thing. Yo,
Oh, yeah,
fuck
we're
this
live
pig.
now. Let's go. What?
why are you saying it now, bro?
What the hell?
That dude, Dapper off so funny. He's like, what?
I mean, hey. Second time on, and this is the intro we get. All right, cool.
I will say though,
Welcome.
I don't know why. I don't know. I was gonna say I don't know why when Mangu says it, there's just a delivery to it that you just laugh. You said that shit, I was like,
What?
That's because he said it aggressively. Said it with intent.
oh man. All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome to this week's episode of the Fault Partner Panel. We're gonna read a couple of things that the community has been vocal about. We're really going based off of the feedback tab here a little bit this week, and we're gonna talk about what we think has been going on with Strange Matters, right? Because we speculated a little bit last week. Unfortunately, Goose wasn't able to be here, but I'd love to hear some of Goose's comments about some of the subjects we talked about last week. But before we go into it, let's introduce ourselves. So if you could start it off, Dapper, then Goose, then Bearded, introduce yourselves.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Dapper Dice, and I am here as a reoccurring guest for this week. So I hope you enjoy my opinions, I guess.
Lit. Welcome, bro. Appreciate you.
Yeah, come on in. It's been fun chilling out even beforehand, so this is going to be a fun show, I think.
Let's go.
Right?
You'd be surprised what you don't miss.
I'm your host now. I'm taking over the goddamn show. This is the Man Goose coming at you on the Bearded Wolverine's channel. Probably know me from my YouTube videos. That's where I mainly reside. Starting to live stream over there a little bit. Still not going to take it to Twitch. Twitch just ain't my home, man. This is my home on Twitch. This is where I Twitch.
He said, my home is an Airbnb. That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yo, I will say, I did see you go live. I was shocked as hell. I tuned in for the whole thing, and I saw the whole Wanda Cosmo thing going on. But I will say, shout out, homie. For somebody that doesn't stream regularly, you held your own. You held your own, for sure.
Yeah. Well, welcome, everybody. I'm the Bearded Wolverine. You're Michigan Wonder and also Fall Partner. Excited to see what we get to talk about this episode, because really, as Street Soldier says in chat, commends us for finding stuff to talk about, because there really hasn't been much for Fall to talk about this week. So yeah, on to you, Windu.
Appreciate it. So what's up, guys? I am Windu, also known as WinduTheMace. I make everything from mobile content, racing content, and a little bit of strategy gameplay here and there. But as we know, these episodes are mainly all about Fall. Mostly about Fall. We try to keep it as much Fall related as possible. We might veer in certain directions sometimes. You'll hear some random shit, like, for example, what Bearded fucking said in the beginning of this episode. But
Shame on you, Bearded.
shame on you. You should be like Mangoose. But
Well, I said it. I'm trying to be like Mangoose.
oh man. But I
If he can have a cool show like this, maybe I can one day.
oh my god, he fucking choked. I can't. Oh, bro. No, actually, speaking of Goose, I want to throw him straight out into the fire real quick. Goose, what do you...
No hair.
Jesus Christ. Oh, Jesus. Yo, so Goose, what do you... How do you feel about this whole Gamescom thing with Strange Matters? Because I know we didn't get a chance to ask you.
It really comes down to how involved they're going to be with the Gamescom. Like, are they going to be featured on the online presentations? Like, are they going to be a game that has like a whole thing on Gamescom? Like, if that's going to be present, awesome. If they're just a couple dudes going to Gamescom to hang out, then it's like, why did you even tell us that? So hopefully it's the former rather than the latter. So it'll be huge news for Strange Matter if they can get featured in Gamescom and get shown to a lot more people. They just they really need to get them their reviews under control on Steam. It's goddamn nice that Epic doesn't have reviews like Steam does, because a lot of the Steam reviews for Fault are disingenuous. They're just other Parazombie fans just flaming Fault because they want to flame Fault. But it's still, that doesn't account for all of them. So I don't know if Steam has some kind of program where they can reset their goddamn ratings or what. But yeah, I've been realizing this week as I've been looking for free games to play just on a whim, that just how important it is when you see mixed reviews, you move along. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So even if they do get this exposure at Gamescom, then if they're really going to need to get those reviews somehow under control if they want to turn that into something, I think.
Yeah. So I completely agree with you that getting the web version of Gamescom, being a part of that, having a spot in that is going to be huge and definitely be worth it. But even if they don't, that would suck. It literally would suck if they don't, right? But even if they don't, just having a booth at Gamescom, from what I'm understanding, talking to other people who are from Germany and who go there, it's actually a pretty big event over there. So even then, like, just getting the masses of people that go to this place, like a Germany TwitchCon in a sense, could be still good for SMS to get the exposure. It's just not going to be as much exposure as you would get, obviously, if it was online as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we do live in 2022. All it takes is the right content creator to make a video about it. And bam, millions of views. You feel me?
Right.
Yeah, then the game explodes for like a good full 3 months, and then either it gets forgotten because it was a craze, or it sticks around as a mediocre game that people just remember fondly. That's
Fall Guys.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Among Us is another one of those.
That's what I was thinking was Among Us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of like free to play games that are easily accessible to a lot of people, and because some big content creators made a video about it, it lasts for a few months and then either falls off the face of the earth or is just a game people remember as being fun. So hopefully Fault at least goes into that latter one and not the former one. So. But that's one of the bigger reasons why they're advertising Epic Games and then Steam, because as you mentioned, Epic Games doesn't have that review system. And from what I've heard, like better frame rates or whatever. So they're a big reason they're pushing Epic over their push for Steam on downloading Fault.
What is Epic star rating right now? Does anybody know that?
Oh, I don't know.
Quick little open of that. Let's see.
I can't with Mike, bro. Mike's in the chat. He said Fault blew up after Windu made a crit bang video guide. I can't with him, bro.
Go to store page.
And while you look for that,
3.9.
So it's still 3.9. So it's actually been holding.
Wait, that's out of 5, right? Not out of 10?
Yeah. 3.9.
Okay.
Yeah.
You imagine?
5. What is interesting though is that the stars themselves show that it's basically a 4-star game.
Yeah.
Just based on the visual stars. I know 3.9, but still.
Yeah.
3.9 equals a movie I would watch on Amazon Prime. That's what that.
Yeah.
That's what that is. You know what I mean? That's a game that I would download right there.
Yeah, and it has 2 tags with. It has 2 tags: amazing characters and extremely fun as well, both with emojis next to them.
Ooh, emojis.
Interesting.
Yeah. One's got like that acting happy face, sad face for amazing characters, and then the massive smile, hard eyes for extremely fun.
Well, Predecessor and Overprime just pack it in because it's got emojis.
Yeah, it's got emojis now.
Got emojis.
Let's go.
I wonder, those can't be like caked by SMS, right? Or
I doubt it. Well,
so when people, you think when people give a rating, it's like which emoji would you think represents your feeling right now for this game?
No, that's fucking great news though. I was nervous when you were looking it up. I was like, oh God, please be good. Please be good. And yeah, 3.9, that's fucking good. Like,
yeah.
They're cruising on Epic. Nice. And again, you gotta remember that people they're probably got like several 1-stars or however lowest stars just from fucking white knights from other games.
what is that, like 7.8 out of 10 if you look at it that way, right? Times it by 2 or
Something
I'm
like that,
mistaken.
yeah. So it also has two other tags: quickly understood controls and challenging combat as well. As minor tags a little bit lower down the page.
Okay.
Only tags
So-
I'm considered is uncensored. Is it? That's the only tag I look for.
So, yeah, no, that's been consistently 3. I remember somebody else pointing out that it was 3.9 a while back. I don't know if it was one of our shows or if it was somewhere else. Is there anywhere that shows the amount of downloads that Epic has for the game?
No.
I know Epic is very like stingy on releasing their info, but I didn't know if maybe if it showed that, like, because a 3.9 rating, what if it was only 2 people that voted? You know, like,
I mean, it should tell you how many people reviewed.
Give it a 5-star, right, or something, whatever. Like,
I'm not seeing anything on how many people gave that rating, but I'll keep looking.
I wish there was something.
I mean, I don't want to be cynical. I'm just saying there's hard. Yeah, that's how I would love to have some more information on Epic, just so you could say that you could hear, like, you have those people that go into Steam and just, you know, like you said, disingenuous people that just want to shit on the game. You could be like, well, fine, look at this, look, you know, and you could have those numbers. Like right now we have a 3.9, but easily somebody could easily be what I just did and be like devil's advocate, like, well, what was that, 3 people that you know scored it? You had 1 5, the other 2s, like whatever, like I don't know, like what are the numbers that give that a 3.9? So I would love to know that information if possible. I know it's, again, Epic likes to kind of keep their stuff behind.
It's pretty cagey. I'm not really seeing anything on the matter. Nothing on how many people, you know, definitely not who, because they definitely don't do that. So it's just a 3.9 because enough people did it to where it's an awkward number.
All right. There we go. We got it.
Yep.
Quick question for you, Bearded. Did you injure your finger hitting the S key too hard, or?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's all I do is hit the S key.
That's what I figured.
Yep. I gotcha.
Where did that even come from? What the fuck?
I just noticed the bandage on his finger.
Yeah. No, I mean, actually, true story. I for some reason I have dry skin on my finger and it like cracked. So I didn't want to. I was cooking my chorizo this morning or this afternoon or whatever evening. Oh my gosh, whatever time I cooked chorizo, I didn't want to get that spicy grease in my crack of my finger. So
whatever, Esky. So what else we got to talk about tonight?
Yeah, bro. Oh my gosh.
Good though. 3.9 is fucking good. I'm so happy to hear that.
It is good. Since we're on a lighter note, we can also shout out. We do have a community member that is hosting a tournament coming up in 9 days. I think it is 9 days. The 21st.
I should probably figure out when that is, huh?
So. Well, it's the 21st. I'm just trying to do the math in my head right now.
Yeah, which
today's the 12th.
So. And actually, as of the last post, it is August 21st, 10 a.m. Central Time, and the prize pool is currently above $1,000 and growing. I did receive a notification earlier. They did lock in at 16 teams. So there's 16 teams competing in this, bro. 16
teams, and update is 9 a.m. Central now. They moved it up an hour to help with the EU teams. So 9 a.m. Start time. So
that's nice of them.
Yep. Locked in 16 teams, and as of right now, I think the prize pool is $1,000.
I'm not following easy yet.
To more from what I'm saying. So
the last prize pool was yesterday, the evening. It's $1,200.
Oh, $1,200. There we go.
100, bro.
Nice.
I will say, I think it's actually kind of, I don't know how you guys might feel about it, but I think it's actually kind of refreshing to see people attempt to start up their own competitive scene to it. You get me? Like, they're not waiting on Strange Matters to do it, etc. They're like, hey, people that want to play this game, there's a lot of people that feel confident. Like, I know people that don't even feel confident, but they're like, I want to be in a tournament. I'm gonna make a team. You get me? Like, that shit's cool. A lot of people love to enjoy like community events like that. I think this is something that's healthy for the game, regardless of who wins or loses. Am I the only one that thinks that?
Oh no, you're not the only one who thinks that. It's also good, and to continue on that. So that's the easy or the Ed Classic. Sorry, is what it is. That's called the Ed Classic. That's one's happening on the 21st. Now, again, to continue this, I believe there is another one,
and it is going to be streamed on Easy Ed 93's channel, by the way.
Yes,
live if you guys want to watch it. You were saying?
Trying to. I believe Comfy Clash is holding another tournament. I'm just trying to figure out when that is.
So while he finds that,
3rd and 4th, September 3rd and 4th. So if you missed the registration for this one and you do want to participate in these tournaments, there is the Comfy Clash tournament. You can find these in the SMS Discord under the community events. You can join the Discords there. You can still join the Easy Ed Classic one if you want to, I don't know, be a part of the community that can go there. Because the more people that watch the event, the more advertisement it gets, the better Fault can actually still do from this, even though it's not a Fault-led event. So, and
Street Soldier brings up a great point. They contacted Pocket Full of Quarters, and Pocket Full of Quarters joined into the prize pool, giving 10,000 quarters to the winning team. So basically just like,
nice.
What is that, 2,500 each?
I could wash my car with like 3 times with all those quarters.
I can't with you, bro.
And laundry.
Yeah, I do like to see grassroots community-based competitive scene as opposed to a SMS initiated competitive scene.
Right.
Been saying that forever, that it needs to come from the community, not from the developer. However, I would like to see, especially in the future, maybe even for Extra Life, whenever that comes back around. Was that October, November when they do Extra Life? I fucking forget. But
I remember
some sort of charity-based tournament instead of just money from people. Like each team picks a charity, and that's what they play for. People can pay in for the prize. I guarantee you'd have a much higher prize pool if it was for charity. Gotta credit Soltis. I think she's watching right now. She was talking about a charity stream, and that kind of gave me the idea for that. But I think that would be an even better way to promote Fault, because I think a lot more people would be interested in that than anything
100%.
else. Just like with Heroes of the Storm, we've talked about this before, Bearded, like when they used to have Heroes of the Dorm where they were giving away scholarships for the winning teams and stuff, like that just made things way more interesting than watching a bunch of professional nerds play a game for money, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, having
or
something,
non-professional stream.
having something that it all leads to will generally lead to a better turnout, because that brings in people that don't even know about the game, know about the Parazombies, any of that, because like, oh, there's a charity event going on with X game and X community, let's go check that out, and then that leads into more things. Despite if it's just one that's in the community, it's cool and all, and brings more people in, but it's not going to bring in new people from outside the community as much as a charity event might.
Yeah, and that would bring me into it, right? People have been asking me are you going to be in part of the tournament? No, I have no interest in a tournament. I have no interest of just letting teams like Colo run all over me just so they can get their $1,000, prize pool. Like, it's not worth it for me. I have no interest in it. No, thank you. Right. I'll do my best to, in the casual matches and get better as I go. And don't tell me you get better by playing in a tournament. You probably do. But I also look at my VODs. You'll see that I'm getting better as I'm playing casual matches anyways. So I don't need a tournament to get better. But if I could play a tournament and advertise a, charity that I'm interested in and I want to promote, that right there is worth it. I might get ran all over, but I got the name out there, the charity that I want to support. So that right there is enough to do.
That might actually, like, if they do an event like that where each team represents a charity, they might get a shit ton of teams actually show up. You get me? Because like Bearded just said, there's a lot of people that were like, you know what? I'm not vibing with the whole competitive scene or anything right now. But if it's for charity, yeah, fuck it. I'll join. Even if I get stomped, my charity gets named. You get me?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I think people would be a lot more willing to throw in towards that prize pool too if they knew that it was going to charity.
Yep.
Maybe not as much as people would join the tournament, like actually playing it, but people would certainly give a lot more money.
So,
I agree.
You know what I'm curious about? It was something that you said a second ago, because I know you said it for a while, the whole it has to be community driven for tournaments and stuff like that. But do you remember Epic's PCL, I think it was called? So
that wasn't Epic though.
It wasn't?
No, that was Grassroots.
Oh, okay. I thought the PCL was actually like, you know, like supported by Epic and everything.
I mean, Epic would throw in prizes and shit. Just, I'm sure SMS is throwing in prizes, like just different stuff in game. But that's different than like, again, I'm going to point out Heroes of the Storm. Blizzard tried to force Heroes of the Storm esports down everybody's fucking throat, and it backfired on them hardcore. And anytime you see a developer developing specifically with esports in mind, it always ends up blowing up in their face.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's a community-driven thing, and the scene develops from the community, it seems to sustain and last a bit longer.
Yeah, and even community driven, it means that, you know, that started with the community. Doesn't mean that the organization's not allowed to help out with that.
Right, exactly.
I used to do Cooch's Custom Tuesdays, and SMS would then give me like in-game matter for the winner at the end of the month. They get so many, we call them Cooch coins, and then you get whoever had the most coins at the end of the month would end up getting X amount of matter added to their account. So so SMS helped, you know, that was my driven event, you know, and it wasn't anything competitive. I mean, it was competitive, obviously. You're trying to get the most coins ordered, but it was just more like interaction with the community and just hang out and play games. So
I think part of the reason why having a community front for these sort of things is because, you know, for perspective reasons, seeing a company boost their own thing or set up their own thing kind of comes off as like, we're only doing this because it helps us. We're only putting this idea not for the fact of the community. Like when the company does it, like, you know, setting up esports or setting up tournaments like that, we're doing that to promote our own game, which isn't bad. But when a community member does it and then the developers support it, it's a community member saying, I support this, and thus the company supports me. So it's a back and forth sort of thing, not a company doing it for their own stuff. And I think that's why community-based events work a little bit better than just a company hosting its own thing.
For sure.
And it also just displays that that game has a strong enough community that they're willing to
where they
organize.
can hold that sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
What I say, Bearded, you want to go ahead and because I think you remember the pictures that you shared within our chat. If you want to go ahead and read the very first one that you shared, I think we're going to be talking about that one for at least a whole minute.
Copy that. All right. So this one, again, we're reading these from the feedback logs. If you guys don't know, in SMS Discord, they have a feedback log. And with a feedback log, it's very similar to a Reddit post. It gives you upvote and a downvote option if you agree with whoever posted it or if you disagree with whoever posted it. And this one here had 33 upvotes and no downvotes. It does say it's got one downvote, but it automatically puts one there, just like in like Reddit. So, well, we don't know if Reddit does or not. But anyways, this one, the way this Butler bot works, it automatically puts one there. So this one doesn't count. So SMS, you need to be more involved with your community, and it's revised. So I would like to revise the log submitted earlier with the same name. SMS, please communicate with the community more. It's been almost 2 weeks since the last announcement and almost 3 weeks since free-to-play launch. We understand that you are busy and you have a lot to do, but we really need to know what you are working on. This doesn't have to be a roadmap or a dev stream, just a general idea. Armadillon has often been in Gen Chat answering questions and just giving communication in general. This has been very helpful and is much needed. Ideally, the community manager would be doing this so the devs can focus on the game. There are a lot of issues to be fixed, and everyone has an issue important to themselves. If we know what you are working on, we at least know some issues are being resolved. But keeping us in the dark just makes everyone frustrated. You have done a good job of communicating in the past. Please keep us in the loop as we help you make Fault the best successor out there.
I gotta give a shout out whoever the hell said that. That was a very well written message, personally. Now,
Drizzle.
Oh, that was Drizzle?
Right.
Late.
Right, so you can read the name. I couldn't read the name. It's just a number for me. So I'm glad you can read the name because I couldn't figure that out. So
Yeah.
All right.
So,
yes. So Drizzle is one of the most
he's active.
Active and loyal community members there is, because this guy has the highest account level in the game, if I'm correct, with that, like 497 or something like that. So the guy grinds the game for sure.
So let me ask you guys.
Very well written. I mean, it's positive in certain aspects. I think this is a really great comment, and I think it speaks to the community and what we're feeling right now about Strange Matter.
I was about to say,
Agree.
The communication from Strange Matter. Like, what do you guys feel about that in general?
I feel like this goes back to what we were talking about last week, where we're not asking for a detailed schedule of what they're working on. We're not necessarily asking them to write down specifically the next thing they're working on or whatever. We just want to know they're working on something that has been brought up in the community. So I think that, you know, they're starting to get the hint that we need that sort of communication, and that they're hopefully starting to make progress on it. I just want to see, and we all do, it sounds like, or a lot of us do at this point, where it's just like anything, really, just anything to give an inkling that something's being worked on. Because obviously we know they are. The devs are hardworking. They're doing their best. But just this silence, especially after the free-to-play. And the only thing that has been really brought up was the fact that they're going to Gamescom.
Right.
You know.
So I agree with everything you've all said so far, and I think the one thing that one thing that you can say, or they should be saying, is that, like, we are still working on Richter, and this is just me making something up. This might not be exactly how it is, but we're still working on Richter. We think we found out what the issue is, but we're doing more tests to confirm, you know, or something. Just an update, because Richter's been gone for a while now. So give us an update on it. All right. You know, don't just pull them from us and like, okay, well, you've never seen that. You know, hey, Richter was kidnapped and we'll never see him again. So actually, I think somebody made a meme. Actually, I saw a milk jug meme. I don't know if I can find it again, but somebody made a milk jug meme where it's like missing and it has Richter's picture on it. So, you know, like other times that they've taken heroes out of the game, you know, Steel or Muriel, for whatever reasons, you know, they came back pretty quick. I don't know the reason why Richter hasn't come back pretty quick. Obviously, the bug must have been pretty hard to find if they still haven't found it, but an update on that. Give us an update on something you've taken from us, and when we're supposed to be getting, the game's supposed to be getting more things. So just communication is huge in this situation.
They need some sort of public workflow management thing, like Overprime and like a couple of them have like Trello. It doesn't necessarily need to be Trello, but some sort of workflow management program where we can see their tasks and goals and stuff like that would be really nice. And it might help. It might help them too. You never know.
And now you understand why I brought Dapper on here. All right, Dapper is a very active community member, especially in the Overprime Discord, but he's also active in the Fault Discord and his own Discord. And I know that Dapper's friends in his Discord are very active in Overprime, and they'll sit there and post screenshots of the Overprime Trello. I don't have to go to the Overprime Trello because I just see it in Dapper's Discord. I get to say, all right, well, that's the updates. We're good. You know, like, all right, I know when it's updated because I will get updated in the Discord. So Dapper, what are your opinions? Sitting in the Fault Discord and seeing the communication that's happening, and sitting in the Overprime Discord and seeing the communication that's happening. What are your thoughts in between the two?
I feel like with the focus being Fault here, it just feels like two brick walls pushing against each other. And not that they're at odds. That's not the implication I'm getting. It's just that with Fault specifically, the devs obviously being quieter than it sounds like they have been in the past, you know, that makes it hard for the community to expect anything when the devs are being a little bit cagey about it. But on the other hand, when it comes to the community and the players themselves, they're giving the same feedback like 20 times from different people, which, you know, shows that it's an issue. But when the devs aren't saying much and the community's only saying the same three things, nothing's moving, no progress is being visually made, at least, and that's, you know, not good for anyone. Obviously both sides are not hating each other, you know, hopefully not actively, but it's just that lack of a bridge in between. There's no like compensation either way. The players in the community seem very hard on SMS, like, you've got to get this done or we hate the game now, you've got to get this done or I'm dropping the game now, I'm leaving this game because the other ones are better. It's like, it's all harsh demands, and then the devs are just not saying too much terribly towards it, or the community managers or whoever. So it's just a lot of silent disagreement back and forth when it comes to fault. And I think that's the biggest thing, is that neither side is really giving any leeway towards the other. The players can be really hard on the devs, and the devs just aren't saying much to react to give the players that peace of mind that they might be looking for.
Would you compare it
specifically?
Would you compare it to an inactive fault line?
Yes, actually, quite actively. It's gonna be worse when one of these lines break and it just ruins everything. And that's what I think a lot of people are worried about, is if the players just get fed up with the devs, or if the devs, you know, put a deadline but can't act on it, then it makes it look bad. So just both sides are trying to have high expectations for the other side, and yet no side's giving any sort of leeway there.
Bro,
so yeah,
I mean, I'll tell you what, I understand why Strange Matter might be afraid of deadlines, and I could literally sit here and talk a whole hour about that shit, right? I'm not going to, but I really do believe that there's certain business practices that they should be implementing regardless of not meeting a deadline in the past or something like that. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I really do believe that, because I've seen a lot of people mention they want Strange Matter Studios to be more transparent. But I think what they mean by transparent is just like, hey, just keep them in the loop. Because I'm sure even if Strange Matters came out and be like, hey guys, hopefully if everything goes according to plan, we should get something going here in the next month or two. Like, what was the character? Was it no, unfortunately not. What was the character that they released and they were like, yo, it should be here maybe 3 months, 4 months? I don't even remember if it was a character. It might have been patch 13. But there was a patch where they literally didn't give us a deadline. They were like, hey,
here's a time frame.
Yeah, we're gonna try 3 months, might be 4. Ended up being like towards the end of the 4. But they still gave us something.
I think it was a patch.
And it might have been patch 13. But
that makes sense.
Even stuff like that. You get me? Like, go ahead.
Yeah, having a deadline is a good thing as long as you can at least get in that, you know, time area of it. Because, you know, one of the things that I've, you know, learned just by on the internet in general, which isn't a great phrase in general, but the fact of having a deadline puts, you know, pressure on a team, but that also means it does get done, because then they're held accountable to that sort of thing. So by having no timeline to get there, no time restraint, externally at least,
no promises to break.
Yeah, they've got no promises to break, which means they're in no rush to do it. If it's too easy to get there, they'll never get there, to quote Rick and Morty, for anyone that knows that quote. But if it's too easy to get there, you'll never get there, because you can do it at your own pace. You've got no rush to do it. You've got no reason to do it, because nothing's holding you to that. So, you know, having a deadline would at least put pressure that others can hold accountable to that. Even if it's like, as you said, as long as it's like within the next 3 to 4 months, we're going to have X thing done, you know, it still gives it, you know, a 2 to 3 month opening for them to finish it, but it does put pressure on them that the community can follow up on, you know. And I think that'd be beneficial to get work done, and more translucency where it's like sort of information and not the transparency of tell us everything that you're doing, I think would be good.
Yeah, I will say I would love to see the deadlines for that accountability. Like, we even say, like, let's say when a game releases, it could be an indie game, it could be a major game. They'll literally come out and say, hey, we're planning on releasing summer 2025. Like that shit might be a while from now, but at least we know what they're aiming for. And it's perfectly okay, especially in today's day and age. That shit happens all the time. For a gaming company to say, hey, our release has been delayed to this day. We see major movies like the last Thor movie, for example, got delayed 3 fucking times.
All of the movies over the past 2 years, basically.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. But shit happens. That's what I'm saying. Shit happens. Like the whole world understands that.
Yeah, like Overprime, to my knowledge, was supposed to like early access / full release last winter, but after their first CBT, they realized, no, we need to set this back even further, expected by the end of 2022. And you know, that's what they're doing, is they say EA by the end or at some point before the end of 2022. There's no set date. There's no set like expected October 12th or whatever. They said
the year is the estimate.
Yeah, and I think Predecessor also has that same thing. Like EA is going to be before the end of this year. So having something like that from SMS where it's like this project we're working on, this update we're working on, this character, whatever, will be done within this time frame. I think that's what we're asking for. It's just an idea of what they're hoping for.
Well, so let's read some tea leaves here real quick, right? Go back and watch the movie One Up. The UI that's being used.
What do you mean? You're featured in the movie. Why not see your own cameo again?
Right. So the UI that's being used in the movie One Up is 13, if I'm correct. Patch 13 UI, right? So, and then we get patch 14, and patch 14 they talk about how we're going to start marketing, right? And then nothing happens, right? But then there's issues with the movie that obviously everybody knows what happened with the movie. So then that got pushed back. So then it's almost like they were hinting towards the marketing of the movie, and that's when marketing is going to start. And then that all got pushed back, and here we are now. So it's almost like they have this, like, Strange Matter's got this curse that's on them that when they put a deadline out there, whether it, you know, even if they just talk about, hey, we're going to start doing something here soon, and they didn't give a date. They just said we're going to start marketing soon. And then here we are, patch 17, you know, going into 18, and we don't have any marketing really yet. We have some marketing, very few, very small marketing, but nothing crazy, right? So it's like, what happened, right? So it's almost like stuff like that happens, and they are now timid from it, and they need to break that timidness and push through and be confident. What literally just before we started the show, talking about going into a room and acting like you know everybody there, right? They need to be confident and just do it, and you know, not put a date on there. Okay, like just put like, hey, the end of 2022 or whatever, or we're gonna do this by this, or that Trello or whatever with no dates, but hey, this is what we're working on. This is what we have. This is what we, you know, what this is, you know, further down the line, and then update as it goes, right? Richter could be on there. Hey, Richter bug, all right, or, you know, and then working on this, right? And then next thing you know, when people see that updated, we know the next patch we're getting Richter because he's over in fixed area, right? We know we're getting Richter back next patch. Can't wait, let's go. Or we probably wouldn't be a patch. It'd probably just be like a little quick hot fix that, you know, that codes him back into the game and he's back in or whatever, you know. I don't know how that works, but I mean, that could be something like that. But either way, just something like that just gives the people more information. They need to break that out of their timidness. I understand they had their issues and things keep happening and they have a curse on them. I mean, the Cubs broke their curse. Now SMS needs to break theirs.
Yeah, a lot of this is just confirming what we talked about last week, where communication should go both ways. Community shouldn't be as harsh on SMS, but we should still have them to a standard. And SMS should give us an inkling of what's going on. And, you know, this is just rehashing and giving a bit more in-depth conversation about what we talked about last week with, you know, Mangoose's opinion in some of this. So, you know, something new.
Somebody would have made it last week, you know.
Didn't have any power. Go.
God.
No. Richter visited his house. He got disconnected.
That's where Richter is. He's chilled at my house.
True.
All right. Can you read that second one, Brayden?
Yep, I already have it pulled up.
Okay, cool.
So this kind of rolls right into that. So again, I don't know if this is the same person or not, but says, I don't know what you all are thinking, but more and more people are losing faith in you as developers. You are too slow to address blatant imbalances. You have zero communication with us regarding patches and hero releases until the day it happens. If you continue to go down this road, your game will continue to die off. Free-to-play clearly isn't helping the population of this game. Do something about it instead of continuing to ignore what's left of the extremely small player base.
I somewhat disagree with the free-to-play not helping with the population of the game. It seems to have helped tremendously.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, Denver's here.
Hi there. I mean, yeah, like most of my average queue times on the like populated times go maximum 3-minute queues. Other than that, it's generally under. Occasionally it'll go to an 8-minute, but that just happens like once every 5 games, I'd say, which isn't horrible in any capacity. So queue times have improved. I'm getting to the point, or I'm not getting to the point. It's very common that I don't see multiple people within simultaneous matches, which from what I've heard was a partial issue before the free-to-play, where you would just match against the same person like 6 separate times. Sometimes on your team, sometimes on theirs. So.
Yep.
But I kind of had that with Paragon. I would match with this against the same people a lot.
Bullshit. Paragon was perfect and didn't have any mistakes.
Oh yeah,
Get out of here.
My bad. One thing I 100% agree with here though is they need they need to find that middle ground. Either they're teasing something fucking 9 months before it comes out, something small like 9 months from now,
or within the week.
Like, yeah. Oh yeah, next week's this. It's like what?
Well, by the way, we dropped Richter yesterday. You guys just haven't updated yet.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So something they can do, right? We know Iggy's coming out, right? Or at least,
Eventually.
that might have been spoiler alert. Sorry guys, Iggy is the next hero. But anyways,
Is your name Balix?
Yeah, right. Well, that's the only reason I was comfortable saying it is because Balix broke that information. But no, we know Iggy's coming out, but we still have nothing on. We don't have his kit. We don't have, we don't. I guess maybe numbers. I mean, they might still be doing balancing things with him. I don't know, but like, anything on this the guy, like, show us tease a skin or something with him. Obviously we know we got the New Year skin because he's in the movie with the New Year skin, but right.
I guess what might be unclear is that, are they focusing on making sure Iggy comes out, or are they focusing on what Richter comes back? So again, this goes back to that transparency of like, what are they focusing on? Do they want Iggy and Richter to come back at the same time? If so, is that why they're holding Richter back? Maybe that he is ready. They just want that at the same time. It's unclear, but
that's what I was over here giggling about, because when you were talking about it, I was thinking maybe they're combining them. We're going to get Richter
Bigger impact.
Scorch in the battle.
as Iggy's coming down lane at the end of the trailer, just Richter ripping him out off of
No. It's Richter riding Scorch. They're combining the two heroes. They're not combining the news.
But that could be the trailer though.
Bro, give me Scorch instead of the Raptor, bro.
You're seeing Iggy riding Scorch, and then he pulls Iggy off of Scorch, and then he
jumps on.
As he does his ultimate, the flamethrower comes
Iggy,
out instead
Iggy
of
flattens out a little bit, or Scorch flattens out a little bit, oh gosh. Damn.
I don't know, but yeah, as we brought up, which seems to be the theme of the show tonight, is they just need to tell us, like, what are you working on, man? Like, let us know. Well, is Richter holding things up? If so, let us know.
Right.
Yeah, we're not releasing Iggy because we're still working on Richter. There's so many things. Who knows?
I don't think that's the issue, because we've had these issues before. We don't know, but I'm just saying, going off of history, we've had heroes pulled before for certain reasons. They were game breaking bugs. They pulled them, they fixed the bug, and they brought it right back. Like it was, it wasn't like, okay, well, we're gonna pull this week, but we're gonna wait for a hero to release and we'll bring them back in that situation. It was pretty quick. So this bug, my assumption or speculation is that this bug was harder to find than the other big game-breaking bugs that were happening before, and here we are with this issue. So whether they come out at the same time, I don't know, but I think I'm going off of, again, I know we try to keep things fault-oriented or whatever, but Predecessor just released a video of the
Decker?
Decker and her abilities, right? Show us Iggy and his abilities. Release a video of that, of how his abilities work, right? And then give that to the content creators. Content creators can make videos on that, right? Mangoose would love that. Please give him some work. And then after that, you can release the when you finally do get the balance just before the patch, release his kit and give us the numbers he's got, right?
I mean, that's a fair point.
Use that to make content off of.
They've teased pics before, like pictures of the kit, right? They've teased clips, even just like a little short animation like they did back with Decker and Grimm, right? An animation of the trailer, and that's all they tease. So does the fact that they haven't teased anything about Iggy besides one picture a year ago, the fact that nothing has been teased, well, I guess you could count that tease, but the fact that besides those two things, I don't know why I put it 3 fingers, besides those two things, literally Strange Matters hasn't shown us anything in this past month. Does that mean that when they finally start showing us something, it'll then be several weeks from the point they start to the point they actually give us the hero?
I think this goes back to the comment that this whole conversation started off of. Because they don't have consistency, they could tease something and it drops that night, or they could tease something and we get it like 2 months later. Again, from what I've heard, and having a form of consistency, like 3 days after the teaser, a week after the teaser, if that's what they do majority of the time, not only does that bring hype, that also gives content creators to be like, expect this then, and then they can start working with items and builds prior to that, saying like, what we theorize is this is what you can do with Iggy, this is what you can do, and that brings content for the week, keeping the hype up until that, if they want to do 1 week, or
Yeah. I think the issue they have is they hold all of that information until the dev stream, and that's when they release it, is on the dev stream. SMS could literally just go live right now, not even advertise, and they're going to get 300 people to watch the freaking dev stream, because people are going to see, oh shit, SMS is live, and it's going to be like, something's going down, right? You don't need to hold information for that. You can just go live and just tell us Richter's coming back eventually, and people would be there to listen to it, right? Now they might be pissed because it was just that very small information, but you don't need to have the video of Iggy's abilities. You don't need to have the screenshot of Iggy's abilities and how the numbers work for the dev stream. You can give all of that to us later on, and then do the dev stream about the patch like you normally do. All right, hey, we have a patch coming out, we're gonna release it tomorrow, whatever, blah blah, here's our reasonings, whatever, and you can still do your dev stream the same way and give us content leading up to it.
Yeah, you bring up an interesting point. Like, they really are holding stuff for those dev streams like they're trying to be the next Twitch partner or something, like it really is. I much rather, like, for example, this past dev stream, right, I would have preferred to see like every bullet point that they had in that dev stream. I would have preferred to see one of those bullet points per like month going forward, leading up to it, right? And then in the dev stream they go over it, they give their perspectives, they show the gameplay, etc. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, maybe not all of them, but like some of them, like some of the really like beefy ones that like, that's like, oh, this is good information, we'll hold on to that, like we'll hold the good stuff for us, but I mean, we'll definitely like, let's feed the fish, let's put the food out there and let them eat up. Like, there's definitely, I mean, we're gonna eat it no matter what. They can literally, I mean, SMSs, their Twitter goes off, I'm instantly looking at it, see what it is, and then I'm retweeting, right? And shout out to Balix and the memes he's been posting. Great job on those while we're talking about it, but like we talked about that a few episodes ago. We wanted to, hey, now that we're in the free to play, let's get the memes going, let's loosen up, let's have a good time, and he's doing it. Great job. But we don't need. You don't need to have everything for the dev stream. You can start pushing stuff out individually as well.
The dev stream should be explaining their thoughts behind the changes, not that the changes are there. You know what I mean?
Here are the changes. Yeah. Yep.
The other thing too, like they had us so spun up that like we were all convinced that once the movie drops and once free to play, that they were just gonna that was it, that they were going to go off. So like we all got to the edge. The movie's out, free to play's out, Epic's out, everything's out. Like, where's all this interaction like that we were expecting? Like what happened? What's going on?
Yeah, like I almost feel like a wrench got thrown into plan. Like I hate to be like, you know, Mr. Pessimistic, right? Totally not me. But I like it almost has that feeling, right? Mm-hmm. Like we expected a lot, and maybe it's just wrong of us to expect it, but we expected home free to play, advertising is gonna start, the movie's gonna come out, Iggy's gonna be like, we're like, yo, like there's a lot of shit that's about to happen, bro. And then free to play happens. That's dope. We get a good influx of players and everything. They do mention we're trying to make sure everything is stable before we add more stuff. So it's like, okay, fair enough. Like, I get it. You get me? Like, they just did Epic servers. There is cross-platform. They're trying to make sure that everything's running smooth. They did 2 or 3 optimization balance patches. So, you know, fair enough. Credit to where it's due. They at least did that part, right? But I really do find it interesting that they just chose not to, like, add anything. And they say it seems like they're sticking to it.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not one to, Mangoose, you might know this because you were referencing, you know, going on to Steam and looking free to play games. How long does a new game that's newly free to play sit up there on the top of the free to play charts of Steam? You know, when does that actually start, you know, drop down to be back to alphabetical order and not up there towards the top because it's newly free?
I don't know. It kind of depends on what you're sorting by. I usually sort by newest.
Okay. So, I mean, and that, I guess that depends on that situation. Then what's going on, you know, with how often games are coming up to be free to play. You know? So if they just had an influx of free to play games, they're just getting pushed down that, you know, that ladder or the, you know, the screen. You know, you have to scroll down farther to find them. Yeah. Right. So why would you not bring the hype with it? Right. We went free to play, and then to me, in a sense, it's basically been crickets. Like we're expecting Iggy not too long after free to play. We're almost going on a month now, right? By the time of the Ed Classic, it'll be over a month of free to play. And are we gonna have Iggy by then? Who knows? Like I feel like this hype of free to play has gone away. Like there's no more hype of free to play. Like this is now what it is. This is
so here's, you know, going into this and being a part of this panel has actually caused me to do a little bit of research. Surprise, surprise. And I understand why the hype around the free-to-play launch felt so important. Because, you know, looking at the last update for the free-to-play launch, which was July 14th, a part of this long list, there's new heroes and mastery races. We will be releasing new heroes, and we have one planned to launch after we have gone free to play. That implies to anyone excited about it that sounds like it's going to be soon afterwards. Mm-hmm. If you just say we're working on new heroes and one will come out after free to play, that sounds like it should be a recent development. Otherwise, you're just saying we're working on characters and one is almost ready. And like, you know, that's cool and all, but one being almost ready could mean so many things. And as for like updates that we could be getting, even if they're not necessarily about, you know, even if it's not specifically about issues that the community has been harping about and asking about, I just realized that on this, they're working on a new map. They're working on an ARAM, a gym mode. They're already working on tutorials, but I never knew this unless I went out of my way to go to their July 14th update page on Fault Elder Orb. I had no idea any of that was even being worked on.
Well, but even the fact that now you know they're being worked on, and that was when, July 14th?
Yeah, July 14th was when that post was made.
Hello, August. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like literally, we're with it.
A month from now.
That's what I'm saying. We're literally to the point that it's basically a month ago. You know, missing 2 days. Basically a month ago, and we're still here wondering why haven't we at least seen one out of all these things, or at least a tease of it? Like the product doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be even given to us. They could have been teasing multiple things throughout if they're planning on doing something soon. And that's the part that scares me, because if they're not even teasing, it makes me feel like it's not going to be soon. Am I the only one that feels that way?
I mean, like, again, as we've said before, like, you don't want them to tease something if it's not ready. Like, we don't want them to like shoot themselves in the foot by like teasing Eggy and Scorch and then not being able to come through with Eggy and Scorch. But at this point, it just feels like something's wrong. Like, it feels like something.
There's got to be a why.
According to plan, and they don't want to tell us about it. It's like, just be transparent with the community. Let us know if something went wrong. If this is your plan, if this is what you planned all along, to not release Eggy for a full however the fuck long, then cool, let us know that. But if something went wrong, let us know that too, so that we're not sitting there with the blue balls waiting for you to fucking do something. I mean, that's what it feels like.
No, I get it. I get it.
Like their streams and everything indicated that there was going to be a big push, a big marketing push and advertising and all kinds of stuff coming with the free-to-play launch. That's kind of what they said, and with the movie dropping and everything, that's what they said during those developer streams. And it's been a month and we've seen absolutely none of that. We've just seen that they said that they were going to go to Gamescom. I think they hinged a lot too on the whole pocket full of quarters thing, because they staked a lot on the whole pocket full of quarters integration. But
you think so?
I find it with a lot of people. I mean, yeah, that one dev stream, like half the dev stream was about pocket full of quarters. But I find for the most part, well, at least my community doesn't give two shits about pocket full of quarters either way. Like, they're not angry about it, but they're not excited about it either. Like, they just don't.
It's just a currency. It's a premium currency. Like, yeah, for me,
they don't really want to participate in it, but like, they're not mad about it. It's just like it's kind of it's something that they hyped up so much, but it's something that nobody cares about.
But, and here's now, I could be wrong, but the way that it has been explained to me, not by a dev, so that's why I'm saying I could be wrong, but the way it's been explained to me is that because I said there's very small marketing going on right now, right? And the small marketing is pocket full of quarters, is it's the sponsored games or whatever, and ads, or the hashtag ad Twitch, whatever. If you play Twitch, you can get paid. Play this game on Twitch, you're paid so much, whatever, to play it for an hour or something like that, whatever it may be, right? We've had some decent Smite players come through and play. Recently, we had Incon. I probably said the name wrong. Sorry. Come through. A pretty big size Smite player come through, play the game, from pocket full of quarters, the way I understand it. As a sponsored stream, played it, enjoyed it, came back a couple of days later and played it without being sponsored, and was enjoying it again. So, and this is a guy that streams to when I was watching him, over 800 viewers, and he's telling these 800 viewers that this game is pretty decent. So, again, one was a sponsored stream, but one wasn't a sponsored stream. So that, to me, says a lot. So, and if that's at least a benefit from pocket full of quarters, that's something good to come from. Now, we're talking about just the quarters themselves. Yeah, you're right. That's who the fuck cares? Because I don't, to be honest with you. But
that's good to hear. I didn't know that. That's good. That's really good to hear.
Yeah, and Fault is on the main page of pocket full of quarters too.
We're not saying this. Like, why are they not talking about this? Why aren't they why
did they send a tweet out to that guy? Like, big shout out to this fucking streamer dude, whatever.
Right? Like, that's actually a great idea. Community engagement. Be like, hey, yo, this person showed up some love and he even came back a second time. Like, yo, show him some love. He showed us some love, etc. Give him more reason as a creator to want to support this game,
Or even as a heads up before he does his sponsored stream, or hey, we sponsored.
Well, I don't think they know though. I don't think SMS knows. Pocket full of quarters gotcha. It's coming from pocket full of quarters, so I don't think they know. But when they do know, when they do see, because I know devs are sitting there watching Twitch right now, and they're seeing who's playing who's playing under the old Elder Orb tab, right? And if you see, hey, look, wait a minute, it's Incon. I know this guy from Smite. We got somebody with 800 viewers watching our game. Let me go check this out. You know?
Yeah, in that case, when they go live and when the devs, if any of the community managers notices that, hey, this guy's currently live playing our game, giving his review, check him out. Because that, again, does a twofold thing. That means that person gets more notoriety and might want to spread it, because when you're noticed by developers, by games, that works twofold. You want to share the game more because the devs noticed you, and the devs want you back because you hopefully enjoyed their game. So again, it's that give and take that is community engagement.
Yeah, what's the word? Reciprocity, I think it is.
Yeah.
And it's not too late. They can still do that.
Yeah,
they can still
they can do that.
Nuts.
They can do that leading into their big marketing strategy, sort of like a build-up sort of thing. Like, just get different streamers and get them like, hey, can you help sponsor this game, or can you help, just try it out, see how you feel about it. When we hit our big marketing push, people will already know what the game is. So then they can be like, oh yeah, this is a new upcoming big thing, hopefully. So it works both ways.
Yeah.
Bearded, could we go into the fourth picture and then we'll hit the third later?
Throwing me off now.
The one about the button?
I got you.
He said I'm all fucked up.
So, all right. So this one's called match button.
He's got a hurt digit. He can't count the floor anymore.
Right? Match button. The game desperately needs a match acceptance button. It is annoying to reset lobbies because of people not selecting characters. People are just hitting the play button and leave their computers alone. Games like League of Legends have this button before going to select characters. So this is an accept match button, pretty much is what they're asking for.
Strange Matters used to have this way back when.
So right when early access dropped, but they had too many trolls. Fucking internet. I can't stand it because I can't stand trolls. But would literally just sit there. But the issue is they didn't have there was no like
Not enough player base.
No, there wasn't a play base. There was no. You didn't get in trouble for doing that, right? You could easily, hey, if you have not accepted 2 matches, 5-minute ban, right? If two acceptances in a row, you're just doing it because you're trolling, you got a 5-minute ban, right? And then at least in that 5-minute ban, guess what? Those people that are in queue, they'll get a match because you're sitting there waiting, right? So then you're not trolling them anymore. You'll troll the next ones, right? And if you continue to do it, if this becomes a continuance offense, then you would the ban keeps getting higher, right? They need to have something like that, and you could still implement this and not have to worry about the trolls.
I get what they're saying, though. It is a little more annoying when you think that you have a match and you're role selecting everything. And you're like, oh, like if you're a carry main and you finally got carry, like you got first pick, oh, finally get the carry, and then
game reset.
The game resets. That kind of sucks. Whereas if the game resets because not everybody accepted the matchmaking button like they're talking about, then it doesn't hurt as much.
I mean, I'll be real with you. I personally am indifferent about it because I feel like most of the failed games that I go through are people that made it all the way through draft, all the way through selecting your role. The game starts, and just because they didn't get their Gideon that they wanted, they alt forward, and then the game resets. But that's
the same for me.
But like a match button isn't gonna help in that case, you feel me? Or like people dodging in the middle of a draft screen. You know how many people are like, yo, I only played Decker, and Decker gets picked and they're like, well, I'm out of here.
Oh, okay. But all right, so we can't not put in a match button just because it's not going to fix all issues.
Well, I just don't inherently see a direct benefit. Like, I see what you were talking about. Like, if someone's queuing up and then actively dodging right after that, yeah, I can see why that would. But, how many times have you or somebody you guys queue up and then you have to go step away for a half second, and because they missed the accept, now you got to sit through another 5-minute queue, another 2-minute queue.
Don't forget, they're probably going to get a ban off of it.
If they do it enough times, accidentally, that happens. technical issues occur. Maybe you're not paying attention and you're looking at another tab on another window or something. Like, there's multiple reasons to miss a queue, even on accident. And having that accept button, I see why it can be helpful, but like Windu, I'm kind of indifferent about it. Like, adding it, could work, but for anyone that needs to step away to do something, that's working on tech issues for a stream, maybe like, oh no, my webcam is not working, or I need to get the game up or something or other. If they miss the accept button, they might get penalized because they were working on something else and thus couldn't click a button. Because these inconsistent queue times, and I have wireless headphones, I'll start a queue, go like grab a snack or whatever, I'll hear it come off, and then I'll just head back to my computer so I know it's there, so I don't have to run back to go hit an accept button. So personally, I don't think it's necessary, but if it's added, I wouldn't care.
Definitely not a priority that they should be working towards.
Yeah.
But it would be nice to have.
Of all of the things we have covered, it might not.
This might be at the bottom now.
This might not be a front runner.
I would put this button after new wards. That's how I feel about it. I'm like, yo, I'd rather get a new ward. Like, you fuck it.
No,
like a new ward skin.
Disagree with that. Yeah, no, I definitely don't care about a ward skin.
I mean, at least with the match button, you would be forced to use them with it.
Exactly. Right.
The wards, on the other hand.
Hey man, I'm just saying that's how little I care about the button, bro.
Windu wards like a boss.
That's true. Kidding. No, the button to me, I think it's definitely. I don't think it's high priority, but I do think it's a great quality of life that can be added, especially because they're also fighting an issue. And one of their announcements, they're fighting an issue of these fake queues. This will help weed out the fake queues and not fake queues. If you're still continuing getting this, even though everybody has the accept buttons, then it's a fake queue issue, and we could possibly figure out that issue even more than it being actual people not accepting. So
I don't know. Like I said,
again, I don't think it'd hinder the game. I just think that it's not extremely important. So
yeah, I mean, with the money they have, they need to look at the value added per time spent. And the juice ain't worth the squeeze with this one.
Bro, I will say though, I'm really interested in what Terry just said in the chat.
I'm not. It's Terry.
God damn. God damn. No, like priority wise, right? Like what Terry said, I would prefer. So he wrote in the chat, add a preferred role icon to show other players on the team what you can play the moment you join. You get me? Like if you see somebody's a preferred role jungle and you can do other roles, it's like, you know what, I'll let them have jungle. I'd rather see some shit like that instead of seeing an accept button.
So when it comes to that,
I completely disagree.
When it comes to
learn to fill. Sorry.
Well, it's not even that. It's not that. I just think that adding a preferred role, if it's only just their first preferred role, I don't think that changed much, because what happens if 2 people or even 3 people,
the whole lobby is jungle
lane? Yeah, everyone's jungler. Not gonna happen often, but like if 2 to 3 people are mid laners, ADCs, jungle, offlane, whatever, then it's just which of these preferred people get the role then, which goes into the conversation of role queue, but that's a separate conversation. But for the preferred role, if they had I prefer this first and this second, I think that'd be a little bit better, because then you can at least know who can do what. And yeah, it's good to know how to fill, it's always a recommendation for everyone, but still having a preferred role is a good thing. Just not, again.
I mean, that's something that they could probably implement later on, for rank or whatever, like down the road. But like, I think League of Legends has it in a great way. Even Smite, a role queue where you have your preferred, you have your secondary, and right beneath those 2 options, it'll say not guaranteed. So you might join a match and be like, I queued for jungle and carry. I'm fucking mid lane. Fuck. All right, now I got to deal with it, because that's the dice that I was dealt. So I don't know. Like I would like to see stuff like that. I know that's not a priority again at this point. I'm nitpicking.
It's more toxicity, because you're going to see people like, oh, you want to be carry? I'm going to take carry. Yeah, it's your preferred role. I'm going to force you to be this.
That's also another thing, is if we're complaining about trolls dodging queues, having that would only enable some of those more toxic people of, oh, this is what you want? Well, I wanted that. I misclicked. I didn't actually prefer this role. Whatever excuses people might come up with. So with a role queue where you actually pick the roles you want first and second, that would be better than just a preferred, which I think everyone would agree on. Having the ability to choose what you go into is nice, because I've got people that I play with that are like, I prefer these 2 roles, but because 2 other people insta-lock them because they're duos, like if I want to play support and my friend wants to learn carry, I can do that. But if some other duo insta-locks carry support, he's playing a role that he didn't want to put effort into. And
so are you talking about something like Overwatch where you get to pick, hey, I want to play DPS? Yeah. All right. So that's something I'm okay with once the player base this is something that we cannot do anytime until we get like bigger player base. Because
that's right. I forget that you haven't played League and stuff like that. So like games like Overwatch and stuff like that, where you can say, hey, this is what I want to do.
You can't do that right now, because if I pick, hey, I'm playing carry, I'll sit here and queue and wait until I play carry. Then you're gonna sit there and you're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting and you're gonna wait forever for a queue, because and then because I know with Overwatch you have the like, hey, if you choose tank, if you choose tank, you're gonna get a higher priority, and you also will give you a boot, like a little XP boost or whatever.
So that's letting you know. So that's like the devs' way of letting you know there aren't that many people. Yeah, there aren't that many people picked. We'll give you an incentive to pick this just so we can get the queues moving faster. That's their way to work around it.
No, and I get that, but like again, we still don't have a big enough player base to do that. Once the player base is bigger and that's something they want to implement, then fine. And like for those people who want to like literally, all right, hey, I'll pick. And you can click on all 5 roles. I'll basically saying fill or whatever, and you go in. Then you can queue that way. If you want to pick, hey, I only want a match where I can be either support or carry, and whatever the first one pops up, you're either support or carry. Whatever one you filled into. That's something that can happen. A quality of life fix like later down the line. But yeah, go from there.
That's a great point.
I saw you typed in chat something about causing queue problems, right?
What? No, I was just agreeing with Mike Wolfie that they should focus on Countess jiggle physics before putting a matchmaking button in.
That's what that was.
There was a comment about that too.
I can't with them, bro.
I think role queue could be added as they get their marketing push, because that will hopefully bring people in. And if they go into this game seeing that there's a role queue option, they will know that they get the role they want most of the time, not all of the time, because again, you'd get your secondary, and if your secondary gets chosen for one reason or another, you get filled into some random role. But going into a game seeing that the option you want, you have a higher chance of getting, to come with that marketing strategy would be a good thing, because not only does that bring more players in to subsidize that lack of a player count potentially, but that also is something that a lot of people see as a positive thing when coming into MOBAs or any role style game where you get to pick your role beforehand so you're not fighting over it. So I think adding that when they do their marketing push would be a good thing.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I hate blind pick in MOBAs and team-based games. And blind pick is just like, hey, everybody just joins the lobby. Whoever clicks first, you pick first. That's it. Like lock in your shit and be quick about it.
Right now we have the draft pick, so we don't have the blind. Okay.
Correct.
So right now we have
blind pick is what it used to be. If you remember, you would just join and then everybody like everybody selected at the same time. Yeah. Now, right now we have a draft pick, which is a little bit more organized. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Overprime had that thing where you click it first. Hopefully the lobby respected you enough to give that to you.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So
all right.
But yeah, adding a role queue would be good for when the marketing hits and we have more players.
In my defense, Goose, your comment came after Wolfie saying that they can't have role selection because it would cause issues. So yeah, but yeah, I was like looking, I'm like, that's I went back and looked, I'm like, no. Then I looked up higher, I'm like,
I think we all know which comment I was agreeing with.
I saw the jiggle physics. I was like, I wonder how long it's gonna take Mangoose to see it.
She ain't got the jiggle though. We need to get
definitely not. She's a twig. I think her swords are thicker than her.
Damn, bro, that's disrespect. Don't disrespect Countess, bro. What the fuck?
The swords start to jiggle when you do the swings. Those are the jiggle physics.
She's slinging wet noodles.
Noodles, yeah, pool noodles.
All right.
That'd be
All
a
right,
cool.
so-
That'd be a cool tier 4 skin. She's got the.
There you go.
Well, people would want her in a summer outfit anyway.
Summer fun.
Yeah.
Countess,
So when she
there
does
we
the
go.
spin, it's water. When she does the forward, it's water. You know,
There
cool.
you
Would be
go.
neat.
Yeah.
That would be neat.
Plus,
She
it'd be
could
on
be,
brand with the TV skin too, because he has one of those.
Twin Blaster's girlfriend, you know. All right.
Grucks with pool noodles would be cool too. I think that
Oh,
would
that'd be funny. Just foam axes.
Bro, give me a steel with a beach umbrella. Where the fuck are you at? Oh man,
Sand comes up for half a second with his ultimate.
that would all be lit, bro.
Guns out.
So many skin ideas, but it sounds like there's a third screenshot to look at.
Yes, we did skip one. Go ahead.
Yes. So, all right. This one's called Things That Need to Be Solved Quickly. All right. When it comes to player onboarding, it is really bad for the game when new players go to the official website and realize that things are out of date. And unfortunately, the site has always been out of date since the beginning. Another thing that goes wrong is the lack of aspects in the Learn tab. How long has a Learn tab been in existence? It's been a long time. This is, to this day, we do not have the aspects there. This is very bad for fault in relation to new players, not to mention the lack of tutorials and translations into other languages. Many players stop playing and abandon the game because of these things.
I'd love to see like if we could get more data or like other people's experiences on the whole language thing, because that never even fucking hit me. I guess I'm spoiled with English, right? But like people that are playing in Spanish or people that are playing in all these other languages around the world, like how is the translation for them? Are they finding it smooth, or is it one of those things that they read it, you know, kind of like well we had in English when we played Overprime, you read a sentence and you're like, that's not English.
That's somebody missed something here.
A little mistranslation.
That's Google. I know Google when I see it. That's Google. Okay. But I wonder if that's happening to other people.
It probably is, but this comes down to priorities and being spread too thin. Like, it'd be awesome for them to have, you know, a better language system to where it's translated better to different languages, to different parts of the world. But with how much do you spread thin? Do you spend all this time, you know, in this same post, do you spend this time fixing the language barrier that might occur? Or do you spend this time adding tutorials and aspects? Because of the small dev team, you have to prioritize things that would focus more on keeping people there and new retention, and having language being included there. But then you get to the aspect of, yeah, the language barrier might be fixed, but we're still missing aspects. We're still missing the tutorial. We're still missing these practice features. So I think it'd be cool to be added, but at first we need to figure out the issues that are current in afflicting people that are in the native language that this game is in. Is if there's already problems in this language, when you add more,
They're going to translate
there's problems in that language too. So I think,
we were talking earlier. Well, I said earlier that the matchmaking thing, the juice ain't worth the squeeze. Keeping the website updated, that's a little squeeze for a lot of juice. Like, that's something that doesn't seem like it would take a whole hell of a lot. But if everything, that's been a constant problem with them, is the website information is always outdated. It's always outdated. And if players are trying to rely on that information to play the game, and a lot of people like to research and look into things before they get in the match, and if they can't use the website to do that, then like that's a problem. That's a big problem.
We have
reflects poorly upon SMS that if they can't even keep their own website updated with the information from their game.
And we have seen them update patch notes live. Like while we're here reading them, they'll be like, yo, refresh the page. We updated it. We changed it. Mm-hmm. Like when they had the whole BAD and we're like, bad damage? And we're like, oh, basic attack damage. Okay, I got you. But like they change little shit like that on the fly. So we know they have access to change it. And we know that seeing little things like that being tweaked at least change fairly quickly. So I guess, I hate to say it, bro, but I just can't help and sit here and be like, why isn't it updated?
Mm-hmm. And this goes around to just prioritization, as usual. They can prioritize and fix the website if that's the only place to check for aspects, if that's the only place to check for specific things. But I think that most players would just prefer if it was all in one place, if it was all just in the game. Yeah, in that learn tab. We talked about this last week as well, and because last week was like new experiences and ways to enhance that. Was adding aspects to that learn tab, was adding a glossary so you can get keywords like wither, figure out what the hell that means. And we discovered that's decay attack speed.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. And that's what Windu brought up, was like a glossary of just like, what do these words means? What does getting each raptor buff do? What does getting alpha raptor mean? There's a difference between alpha raptor because when you look at the raptor, it doesn't tell you it's alpha raptor. It's just got a massive health boost now out of nowhere.
Well, the color does change, so there is a visual indicator that it is a different raptor.
For anyone that's colorblind. So having just those small tweaks of like adding aspects.
I think even somebody who's colorblind, you're gonna go up to that.
I was about to say
something's different here.
It went from gray to black. Anybody colorblind can tell that.
What's going on here? This is not as.
I've never paid attention to the color of the raptor, so I didn't even notice.
Yeah, it went from like tan to a black raptor, bro. It literally changes completely, bro.
Next time, but
it's black with like red markings on it and shit.
Look, I just look at the health bar because that's how fast I know I need to burn this thing. And sometimes it's not fast enough, even with the whole team there.
Hey, I'm gonna let you know too. Lesser Helix is different color than Prime Helix. Okay,
that one's a little bit more obvious.
And smaller.
Yeah, that difference is a little bit bigger, obviously. But it also does have the name change as well. So.
Well, so does Raptor and Alpha Raptor, right? Technically.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't have a name change. It still says just Raptor above it. Regardless, I think.
Did you know that Raptor was called Reginald for a good while?
Excuse me? That's awesome. That's funny. Why don't they do this? Why don't they do it? It would make it unique and so.
They had a contest where the community would get to name the Raptor.
What?
And then that's the name that won. It was Reginald. So he was Reggie the Raptor for the longest, and they just kind of went away with it. Like nobody calls him Reggie anymore, bro.
That sounds awesome.
Well, because everybody hated Reggie. Reggie was a stupid name. That's why nobody calls him Reggie anymore. Because like, okay, we've all decided. All right, the meme is over with. We're done. Let's move on. It wasn't a good name.
I'd rather have the call it. Let's go say hi to Reggie instead of let's go get Raptors.
I also find it's funny that we all still say Raptors plural.
Yes,
fair enough.
One Raptor forever.
Fair enough.
Well, not forever. There was Raptors. There was three of them. There was three of them.
Did Fault have three?
Fault did have three of them.
Fault started with the smaller Raptors, even way back when they're in Indiegogo. It was smaller, multiple Raptors. And I think it wasn't until, correct me if I'm wrong, early access that they decided to change it to just one big Raptor.
It was, because I only played in early access. So it was even in early access. It was after the start of early access, they changed it to one big Raptor. Because I remember playing it as starting early access. You go in, it was when Raptor Pit had the two entrances, the one right from duo lane and then one entrance from mid lane. And yeah, you had three Raptors sitting there, and you'd sit there and you kill one and you get like so much, but obviously you don't get all of the experience until you kill all three. So yeah.
But yeah, having a learn tab would be a wonderful thing for aspects and a glossary for terms, which is what we were talking about.
Way to bring it back around.
Somebody's got to at this panel. But yeah, no, having clear, again, communication.
You answering that, Windu?
Yeah.
With
all right.
Having clear communication with just how to even play the game. And knowing that back in July 14th they were talking about adding a tutorial, sort of like early on mission sort of things to help get new plays in the game. Knowing back in July that was technically considered one of their priorities, I'm surprised even something as small as adding text talking about the aspects, just taking the picture from in-game and just inserting it in the learn menu. Like, I'm just surprised they haven't done that yet, because that would totally help. As Real Easy in the chat knows, I'm a theory crafter, and Windu knows this a little bit too, where it's like, I want to see how...
Sorry, I'm reading Windu's reply. He put Wednesday twice. I'll be there on Wednesday.
Wednesday. Really?
Hey man, hey man, the fucking phone autocorrect and shit just went in. What do you want me to do?
I was gonna say last week's video isn't up yet, so that's not even a guarantee. So both are coming out next Wednesday. Regardless, I'm just surprised they haven't added it because I feel like that wouldn't be too difficult and it would be helpful for everybody, especially the theory crafters, to know what the aspects do out of the 10 seconds you have to read them.
And I love this glossary idea too. That's just give people something to search on too.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the question is when. Oh, bro, you're totally right. The video was ready. I just never hit public. Oops.
Yep.
All right. Last week's video's live. There you go. I just clicked it. I like when you said that, I was like, the fuck are you talking about? I remember on Wednesday.
So I went and looked. I'm like, wait, I don't know. Maybe my weeks are off too. I'm like, not like I haven't seen it.
Yeah, no, bro.
Maybe, I don't know.
I went and looked too. I was like, bullshit. I remember on Wednesday. I adjusted the title and everything. And then I just looked. It said unlisted. I was like, "Buh."
I uploaded like I was supposed to. I'm like, oh, I know I'm good on my side. I don't know what happens after that.
It's well. Thank you, Dapper. Appreciate it, homie.
Curious to that one, so I wanted to see what, like, hey, how'd the video turn out? It's not there. Oh gosh.
Oops, it's there. It's there now. You guys can watch it.
It's all right, Dapper. At least yours is uploaded. I did a show with Windu and his friends, and I still haven't seen that show either.
True.
That one has not been uploaded. I feel like
that's a data problem. That was a data problem for sure.
Here we are.
We're gonna
an SMS, and we can't even go live with a fucking video.
Hey, at least we're.
Hey man, have you seen Bearded and Mangoose host the panel, bro? I'm just saying.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah. We actually did do a show.
You guys did great. You guys did fucking great without me, by all means.
I don't know, but great. I literally felt like I was like messing up somewhere. I'm like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I'm doing something. So
yeah, you didn't call me sir. That
was... Is it dad or sir? Which one is it?
Both. Sir dad.
Sir dad.
Sir dad.
Oh no, this is a big thing people talk about player onboarding all the time. And just again, they don't have the money that Overprime has. They don't have the money the Predecessor has. They really got to focus on what's going to get them the most bang for their buck. That tutorial video needs to be updated though. Like,
they have a tutorial video.
They have. Is it still on their YouTube?
Okay, the fact that it's unclear shows that whatever it was out of date.
Yes, exactly.
So the tutorial video used to just show up straight in the game, like you were forced to watch it. The first 10 minutes you boot into the game. Yeah, I don't know.
I realized it was ever
literally click, go delete your res file, uninstall the game, reinstall the game, and it's going to show up. With video. I literally just had this app. I helped somebody fix an issue, and I watched them load up, and they loaded up, and they're able to skip the video. So the problem is you're able to skip the video. That's an issue there.
Fair enough.
The problem,
but the video isn't the greatest either. Sylphan's voice is amazing, and it'll put you to sleep because it sounds so good. But maybe that's why people don't. Maybe that's why people don't.
There you go. Early access tutorial a year ago. It's on YouTube.
I would really like to see them do like a tutorial on what all the different side lane buffs do, like river buffs do, and like what the different various jungle camps do, and like all that stuff. But the thing is, with that is they change stuff so often, which is a good thing that they change it so often. They would have to update those videos every time, and that might be a little much for them. If they could do it in a way that they could just quickly replace that information and re-render the video and re-upload it, that would probably be very beneficial. They could just plug and play certain parts of it.
Well, I think if they just made it very generic, like as a jungler, you're supposed to, in whatever order you decide, clear this side, and gank when you want. Now, obviously not that simplistic, but like if you make it vague enough to where a change in what the buff does shouldn't necessarily cause a whole rewrite of the episode, or like if you're playing ADC, make sure to last hit these minions, and when you feel it's safe, don't forget to get this buff right here, as it'll help you sustain in lane. Yeah,
well, that's where
solo side.
If you do so, Goose, this is what we talked about last week. We also talked about it a couple weeks ago, even with you, and adding the hyperlink for a SMS YouTube playlist, right? And they can grab your short that you made on the gold buff. They can grab Windu's video on how to lane and how to freeze a lane or whatever, all that stuff, the laning, video, and then grab Kill Switch's videos on the breakdown of the heroes, and then grab Skynet.exe's videos on how the beginner support videos, beginner jungle videos. I can't remember all. He's done 3 of them, I think, so far. Right.
And you know where it'd be a perfect place to put all this?
in
a glossary.
So
you want that
hyperlink?
Yeah.
That hyperlink would be there, right? And then so whenever there's a change to gold buff, Mangoose, you either go update the video, or they at this time are now making videos, and they can take your video out and put their video in. And when they update they update gold buff, they update that video, and you just remove that from the playlist and add that to the playlist. And then you can just keep refreshing that playlist as you go. And until then, you just have a continued playlist going.
Right. 100%.
That's what needs to happen.
I think it's also on us content creators too to not be greedy with the viewership. Like if we know that there is a video out there that explains this really well and somebody asks about that particular thing, we can
share it,
direct them to that video.
Like, bro, I'll be real with you. You know how many people have asked me, like, there's more than one project? I'm like, bro, just watch Mangoose's video. Like, here, bro. I keep that shit in my notes. I just copy that shit. I'm like, the game diff, I think is what he had on the thumbnail or whatever. I'm just like, this is not, I don't have a time for an essay. Here's a link. Like, even if you go to my chat and you come in, you're like, whoa, Paragon's back. I'm like, do me a favor, just type !Paragon. Like, there's a link.
Yep. So I do the best I can, or we do the best we can here to shout out those players that are doing, the content creators that are making those videos. Again, like obviously your gold buff, and then wrong.
Whoops, I forgot.
This is his show, just wrong channel.
Oh Jesus.
So, but.
That's right.
So I do my best. Like, I know Kill Switch is making stuff. I know Skynet's making stuff. And anybody else, if you are making stuff and I don't know about it, let us know. Let a comment down below in the comments below that you're making stuff about this, and we'll shout you out as well. Yeah, and I mean, first we'll watch the content, make sure it's actually good content. No offense, there's people who are out there making shitty content. Go look at Bearded Wolverine on YouTube. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Got him.
But
it's okay. It's like Button doesn't do anything anymore.
So, yeah, so I mean, I do my best to try to help shout out anybody who is out there trying to make the game better in those regards.
Yeah, to be clear, I wasn't really directing that at us. I think we all do a pretty good job.
That's true.
I know, sharing the love amongst the community and trying to build a community, not our own.
No, I know you weren't talking about us. I was just showing us as an example of how it should be done. Like, do what we're doing. Shout out there.
Bearded mentioned
the credit.
To mention a couple great examples, like Skynet. Didn't Black Tim's throw his own video in there too? That was actually pretty decent, if I'm not mistaken.
I haven't seen a Black Tim's video. I know he was in that meme you posted.
What?
Be right back.
It was Bobby Timms holding a picture up about.
Oh Jesus. Okay. But
didn't see my reply to the tweet.
But hey, go check for us since we're not gonna go check right this moment.
But yeah, man, I will say it's actually super cool. Not only the fact that newer players are getting involved, newer players are wanting to learn and stuff. It's actually really cool to see some startup content creators just come up and start making videos and shit like that. Like, it's actually mad wild, but mad respect to those people. Like, for example, what is it? Skynet. Skynet is one that he's been killing those fucking beginner videos, like you mentioned. Like, those are actually proper videos. So shout out to the homie. And if you haven't watched them, those are videos that you really should watch. Especially if you're new. I mean, if you're already experienced, you're going to watch this and be like, oh, but it's not for you, bruh. But I will say, like, seeing content creators growing and starting to develop around the game seeing people on Twitch that like I can go to the Twitch page right now, and I promise you at least half the page I'm like, I don't think I've ever seen these people streaming this game before. That's what's up. Let's go show some love to one of them at least, you know?
Yep.
And I think that speaks to the community that the game is building in its own.
So, and I agree with that. And you said if it's not for, you know, if it's for newer players, and you're right, it is for new players, but it doesn't mean that us experienced players shouldn't go watch it, because if anything, us experienced players can help Skynet in those situations, because I know Skynet will definitely take constructive criticism. So if he was saying something wrong with the support role or whatever, or you think that this shouldn't be a part of the video, or you should have added this into it, he'll definitely take that constructive criticism and work on that for the next video he's making, or maybe even recreate a support role video or something. You know, I'm just using that as an example, you know, so, you know, I know I would prefer constructive criticism. If you see I'm fucking up on something and you actually have constructive criticism, you just want to come and, you know, call me ass, you know, because I know I'm ass, don't tell me that. But if you want to give me, hey, you know, use this, use that, try this, try that, I'm all about it. You know, if you can actually, you know, help me out, get better at whatever I'm doing, I'll take it for sure.
Try Demon Sword.
I did.
Schwartz.
Yes, but yeah, just having, you know, supporting other creators and shouting out their tutorials per se, or just, you know, if a character you want to learn is played by a content creator, share that with somebody else that might want to learn that character. If you want to learn Twin Blast, look up somebody that watches Twin Blast. Not only do you get to support their content, you also get maybe a new way to try the character you didn't think about trying in the first place. So just communicate with your fellow player and you'll get new ideas. Because if you just think this is the way I play this character and this is the best way, you're not going to grow. You're not going to change. And there are probably like multiple flaws you didn't even see in that.
I wonder why we haven't seen much retweeting or like, yo, go check out this video by this person off of Strange Matter. Because we saw the memes. We did ask for memes, and that's cool. Like, we got them, you know? A little bit of, I don't know, comedic relief, I guess you could say, right? But I would also love to see, like, whenever somebody does post a cool video, right? And it's making its way around, and let's say some staff member checks it, like, yo, this is a proper video. Why don't we give them a shout out? Be like, hey, shout out to this person on Twitter. Go follow them. Go check it out, you know?
Yeah, they easy to do it on Twitter, right? But we also haven't seen one in a while. Well, let me go to the website real quick because I can't think what it was called. But basically, the community member shout out they used to do, whatever that was called. Windu, you were a part of it before. What is that called?
I mean, even if it's not the exact name, just highlighting a creator is probably not a bad idea on the occasion. I'm just like, hey, this person's playing Fault right now, or this person recently uploaded a video. Why not go check it out?
Community showcase.
Yeah. That would make sense.
They have the showcase page, right? And
is that in the Discord?
It's not in the Discord. It's on the website.
Oh,
so if you go to the website,
okay, wait.
Go to the website, go to community, go to discover, and then you'll have there's a part that says overview, partner, showcase, highlights. Go to showcase, and then you have people up there, right? And then you got the Windu Feng Mao video. But Espada's in there, Basil's in there, Sinister's in there, Mitch is in there, Cyberdrunk's in there. You know, if community members are doing these videos, but it doesn't have to be a showcase. But I'm saying we haven't had a showcase in a while.
March 23rd.
I guess maybe we've had one more recently than I thought, but I felt like that was longer ago. But I mean, like Windu was March 7th, 2022, and then so less than a month later, March 23rd. So then now we went how long since the community showcase? So keep that stuff up. The community. I mean, you're community driven, right? If you're community driven, let's showcase the community more. We got people out there that are doing stuff.
Yeah, show off some of the art. Some of those concepts are cool as shit in the art showcase, whatever.
Right. I agree. So
I think it really just comes down, and I might be talking out of turn, right? This is personal opinion, but I think it literally just comes down to maybe manpower. I think size is really
SMS.
Yeah. Well, because think of it like this, like let's just say there's one person in charge of social media, right? Let's just say that blanket statement. So there's only so much that one person can do. But now what if that one person is also in charge of doing other things for the company? Now they're balancing both. And arguably, he's not going to be able to give 100% of his resources to both. At best, it'll be 50-50, depending on which one takes more priority, right? So, wouldn't more manpower, and this is where it gets tricky because it's hard to find good work for free, right? But then again, they're an indie company with limited budget, paying somebody to just kind of do their social media that isn't their marketing person would be rough. Which is why they're still looking for a marketing person, if I'm not mistaken, on their page, like the whole hiring thing. But just having some, like I'm sure they can find even like one of their mods to help out with certain tasks that might not be coding developed or stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when it comes to manpower, this comes down to what we were just talking about as well, is if that social media manager wanted to, maybe to ease up on any workload they might have, shouting out a creator, talking, the memes that have been going around, just making a post like, hey, we'd like to thank the community for being wonderful. It doesn't have to be some magnificent thing. And if they allocate it to content creators and saying like, hey, shout out to this content creator for doing a good job, or hey, this person's been streaming this game all week, we'd like to shout you out, that is, work in one capacity, because it is socializing, it is getting the game out there, and they don't have to put in as much work to do some massive post, because it showcases the game, it showcases the community, so you get that little bit of connection there, and it relieves a little bit of the work, because then people will spend a little bit of time there. I don't know, I'm not some social media manager, but like that's an idea of potentially how to lessen a workload. Find people in the community that can help with it, even if it's not necessarily something major.
Yeah, I'm sure people would be willing to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Armadillo said in the chat, Aylit, where you at, bro? Whatever happened to you guys remember the girl that said that she was gonna start making videos like Aylit, Lucy?
Yeah,
I think
Lucy. Yeah, that was her name.
She's still around, right? I think.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna tell you from experience. I tried to recreate some Aylit style videos, and it is way fucking harder. Like, I don't have the mind for it. Like, that's not.
Yeah, bro, that's an art style, 100%.
That is not my jam.
It was more B-lit.
Yeah, it was B-lit. More like C-lit.
Num says, give your streamers materials they can work with. Use them as multipliers. What?
What's going on? I was looking something up. What the hell did I miss?
Nothing. We're just talking about C-lit.
Oh, God. All right.
Oh, totally just caught it. All right.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I got that.
You can look for those videos, but they're hard to find.
fucking can't with you, bro.
Jeez.
I'm literally
freelancers. Yo, how do you guys feel about freelancers, or like people that are wanting to help Strange Matters, but they're not necessarily part of the team? You think they could set up some sort of program for that?
Oh, I feel like that's probably really doable, as long as the freelancers don't expect too much money, because again, budget's limited. That's been stated before, because of such a small company that it is. But having freelancers does multiple things. Again, it spreads the workload, so it makes it easier on the dev team itself, but it's also not a full commitment to be with the company. And depending SMS's policy on that, if the freelancer does want to be hired, then that freelancer gets a chance to show what they can do. So it's just having freelancers could do multiple things. It eases the workload, it gets stuff done, it's a place for people to showcase what they can do, and it shows that SMS is paying attention to the fact that they could use more help potentially.
Well, they had that issue though. They did that. They brought a freelancer in. They brought a map guy in, and it caused a huge bunch of issues. That
was a full hire, no?
Long ago. It was yes and no. I mean, it was somebody who that was still working on other projects. Like, I don't know.
I can see that hesitation then in that case, because I didn't know about that.
Yeah, they had a guy come in, he was a map guy, and we promoted him on the partner panel. We talked about it. We went and looked at, I can't remember what the website it was. You're able to look on the website, see what they've worked on, and they've done some stuff that was for like ray tracing and stuff like that. They did some really good stuff. They did some recreations for another game that people really liked. What was that? The game with the guy and his daughter.
I know what you're talking about. It was a PlayStation exclusive, right?
Yeah.
Outlast?
No.
I forget the name of that game.
Last of Us?
Not Outlast.
There you go.
That's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah. So Last of Us, he did a little like a fan recreation of Last of Us like map view. Great job. Did great work, but caused issues with stuff that was going on. So he's no longer with us as for SMS, and so yeah, that's an issue you have with that stuff. That's where it kind of, that stuff would suck.
So yeah, again, I can see how that can be an issue, and one bad apple kind of taints everything from that point onwards, and you definitely want to hesitate. But I still think that if done correctly and nobody fucks it up, having some freelancers as options could theoretically benefit the company a lot. Again, if it's been a horrible experience so far and they're very hesitant, I completely understand. But having it as options isn't horrible either, because then I've said this multiple times, can spread the workload so it's not as heavy on those limited number of developers.
I mean, I'll tell you that, like, business-wise, it might sound horrible, but I much rather have that spot that needs to be filled by somebody, even if they're not 100% a perfect fit, until we find a perfect fit. You get me? Like, I'd rather have somebody there that can do 60% of the job instead of nobody in that position at all for a year.
I got that. Progress is progress as long as it's not in the wrong direction.
So, I don't know, man.
I think too that they could lean on us partners a little more as well. Like, I've offered my video editing services to them on several occasions. Like, I'm like, right, if you want to do this, just hit me up. I can do that for you, or hey, if you guys just give me these clips, I could probably make a way better video than what you guys put out. Like, what they're
throwing that shade.
No, I mean, I've said it before. I'm not ashamed of it. When we were doing the thing where we would play with like a few of the developers and like get multiple angles of the same play, like a really good play, but they would only show one angle of the play. Like, what was the fucking point of all of us getting these angles? I could have worked that into this crazy, like, nice highlight for them, but I just like lean on us, like ask us for this kind of stuff as the partners. If you need something like that, just ask.
Well, I don't know what it is. It's all speculation, all right? But as a partner, I don't know if they're afraid to show favoritism. I don't know if they don't trust us enough to lean on us for that information or that stuff, to put that stuff out there or what, but we don't get utilized to the point that we can be utilized.
Like, so just to give perspective so the community knows and everybody watching, us doing shit like this is literally because we fucking want to. We don't get incentivized. We don't get told, hey, you guys should do videos on updates and shit like that. Like, we're partners. I'll be honest with you, mainly because either influence or the positive, connotations that we have towards the games and etc. But as
been here,
that time we've been here, etc. Like making a stamp in the community, so to speak. But as far as information, as far as, hey, let's make videos, every single one of you out there right now has the same exact advantage that we do as far as making a video. Like Stranger said in the chat, they already have freelancers for marketing. They're called partners. My reply was, they are not going to give partner access to their social media. Like, there are partners that would love to help this game go further, but as a partner, we just don't have that access. You get me? Like, there's just limited things that we can do, and quite frankly, I've always hated using this example, but a partner is kind of like the Queen of England. Like we're there to show face. We're there to engage with the community, kind of be like an in-between between the community and the devs, right? But there isn't that much of like content creation advantage and stuff, or like we're not like part of the team, so to speak. We're kind of like liaisons with a community. Does that make sense when I say it that way?
It makes sense from the knowledge I'm getting from this whole thing, and from what I've seen / experienced just being on this panel, is it seems like you guys have been given the title of partner, and that's it. You in front of your streams, in front of your community-based stuff, you can say as partner of fault, and then you just talk about the information everyone has. And that seems to really be it. It's not a connection of, as a partner, I've been given this info that you can look forward to X thing, or as a partner, I was able to test this feature that's already out, but I've been able to get the effort in the, whatever resource to be able to do it early on, so I can help you guys get into this. There's no way for any of the partners to update the website, because that would be interesting to have a partner or a few partners be able to update the website, because then they can they could do showcases, they could do updating aspects, they could show tutorial guides, they could put the effort out there that SMS might not be able to. But for now, it's purely the title of partnered to fault, and that seems to be it from what I'm hearing.
You get your avatar in game, which might as well be a fucking bullseye.
What do you mean?
So,
you think that makes you more of a target, Goose?
Hell yeah, it does. Like, that guy's got a different fucking avatar. Kill
He
him.
must be special. Gank him. Can't
Kill
complain.
I would love, like, I'll be honest with you, I would love if people, even if like our avatars as partners were given away for free, we don't even have to monetize off of it, right? Like, if people could get in the game and with in-game currency just buy the avatar of a streamer that they support and they want to rock that picture, that would be dope.
Yeah, that'd be awesome if I could run around with a bearded Wolverine or Windu goddamn icon running around.
But I don't know. I guess we'll see what they implement.
So
Bad Karma brings up a good point.
Thank you. Go ahead. I
You're
literally was
welcome.
gonna say it. Yeah.
And they lean on a partner so hard and like make them the sort of the face of SMS, and then Pred comes out and this partner is all of a sudden playing the shit out of Pred, or they're playing the shit out of Overprime. Because I know me personally, I have no stake in any of the games, nor do I try not to show bias towards any particular game. I cover them all as equally as I can. So when Pred comes out with something big, or Overprime comes out with something big, I'm going to be on top of that. And it does say something that like that fault partner is covering Predecessor or whatever. But I'm also like, I guess whatever the Pred's equivalent to a partner is, and I'm also Overprime's equivalent to a partner or whatever, or what have you. So I don't know. That's a weird situation all around. That's only really come about because of this Paragon situation that we have.
I think by being a partner in each of the 3 games, that shows that you literally can't have a bias, because you have to promote them all as viable projects. So I think that's the least biased way you could, commune with all of them, is by saying, because I've been in such favor with all 3 communities, I'm not favoring one, because then I might lose partnership with that one, as an artificial sort of thing with that.
The fix for that, though, that Bad Karma comment, though, is you don't lean on one partner. You don't lean on 2 partners. You lean on the partners, and let the partners who want to step up and take that initiative go with it. The ones that step up and take the initiative, great, right? And, and it doesn't have to be like, hey, we're not asking these partners to develop the game. We're asking these partners to help promote the game in certain situations, whether it be social media, whether it be whatever, and help them, but under the SMS name, in a sense, right? I do promote the game, right? I do. Here we are. We're sitting here talking the state of the game. on my Twitch channel, right? Like we're doing this stuff, and then we post it on Windu's YouTube channel. Like we do stuff to help this situation, right? We do what we can with the stuff that we're given, the tools that we're given, right? This is what we have, right? If we had more tools, we would do more with it. But until then, this is where we're at. So if you give us more tools, we would definitely take advantage of that and go with it. And
I mean, I don't know. Armadillo just said in the chat, we want to do that, but it's up to y'all.
Okay. Hit me up in the DMs, Armadillo, and tell me how I can change things differently, because I don't know. I don't know what that means. I didn't know I had to come ask for more tools, something. I don't know. Because you're right. I would, Mangus, you're right. I also, I'm not a partner for Overprime, but I am, almost like a partner equivalent for Predecessor as well. And when that does come out, I do, have their, that weekend or whatever that comes out, I will be playing stuff like that. But that doesn't mean that I'm not able to do, I can't. I'm a freelancer in that sense for all three of them.
Yeah, I think it's just the name partner that a lot of people assume is like, oh, yo, he's stuck with him,
You got insider information.
I ain't got shit.
Yeah.
Apparently, I need to talk to Arma, because apparently I can get shit that I didn't know I could get.
Started. Oh, he's talking about the avatars. So I'm gonna say. Hold on, I need to know what you're talking about, the avatars, Arma. Because I know I've been begging for people to get my avatar as an option to just kind of claim it in the shop ever since I got my avatar.
I think that's what they were talking about, is that he might, or they might have been wanting you guys to get to see if you can use your sway to get your avatars out to the public. That's a conversation we can't have right here, because that's a conversation we're supposed to have in our partner chat with our community manager and some of that, because that's a conversation we've had, and I disagree again with Arma that it's on us. So until then, we'll continue that in the next partner meeting, which I'll let you know when that is. Yeah, it sounds like they have tried, but it's who knows in the condition of what it is right now.
I want thousands of avatars. I'm with mid-dev. Confirmed.
I don't want to use matter on anything right now, honestly. I don't know why I can't use matter on skins, wards, emotes, whatever, but it's a separate topic.
And I'll be honest, I'm gonna go with what Arctic said in the chat. Like it's gonna be difficult to grow the game off of partners alone. Content does lead the way. Partners can be a massive tool that they can use to their advantage.
Yes.
Right.
I am not saying we're going to grow this game just by us. I'm saying use us to help. Again, Windu, you said, and Dapper, if you do need to leave, I know you said you were on time restraints. So
yeah, listen.
Yep. So, but you said that, we have one guy that runs social media, and that one guy also might have other responsibilities, right? So we can't commit 100% to social media. So if you allow, and I'm not, this social media is just an example, right? If you allow the partners to help assist with social media, then that takes a little bit off of that other guy, the actual developer, to have to worry about that, and he can focus on the other responsibilities he has. And if you allow the partners to work on community management, whatever that might be, then that allows the community manager to focus on other things that he needs to focus on, and then it helps not spread them so thin, right? We cannot develop this game on our own, right? It's not, we're not going to be able to grow this game on our own, but we can help in that situation. Just ask, and I'm telling you, people will jump to it.
Yeah, and with that, I will be heading out, guys.
Yeah,
have a wonderful rest of your day.
Well, we're at the 2 hours, so let's just do our official outros. So, Senor Dapper, go ahead and let them know what you're up to. Let them know where they can find you, where to follow you, social medias, etc. And what do you got to say to the community?
So to everybody in this community right now, again, my name is Dapper Dice. It is going to be the same for Twitch and YouTube. I'm taking a break from both of those for personal reasons, but coming soon, hopefully mid to end of September, I will be more active again. But again, youtube.com, just look up Dapper Dice. Same on Twitch, and that's where you will find my socials. As much as I enjoy Fault, I do have a personal preference, and you will find that on my YouTube. I don't want to say too terribly more on that, but with that, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you guys again later. And as for the partners, I'll see you guys again around. Bye.
Much love, homie. Appreciate you being here, bro.
There's
Goose, throw your plugs, bro.
I made Google Doc. You can find it on my YouTube posts.
For the pictures.
Link to it. It's just a bunch of Paragon PNGs. I'm missing Howitzer and Iggy, which I just realized earlier. So I need to throw those in there. But those are for any content creators or anybody who just wants them. They're just transparent images. It's something we ask for from everybody for all the time, and it just never happened. So I just did it myself. So guys can check that out and use it to make thumbnails or use it in your content, however the hell you want to do it. But yeah, I just wanted to let people know that that's out there. Can I post that link in here?
It might not let you.
Maybe.
Considering Bearded's got the whole link banning. He can post it if you give it to him.
Oh, okay, I'll give you the post.
But I will say that that little, what is it, like a Google Drive that you set up with all the PNGs and stuff like that, that's actually super cool. And a lot of people don't know that Fault also has their own little press kit that everybody can access, and that does have a lot of free art in there, like PNGs, pictures and stuff. But to find that one,
you can post it. I can still do it if you want me to, but yes, you're able to post it. You are VIP.
But as I posted, just in case. But yeah, so shout out to you, Goose, because that's work, bro. That's literally just you going out of your way to help the community of content creators, and you didn't have to do that. So I'll give you major props on it, for sure. Bearded, you got any plugs you want to throw in there? What you got going on?
No plugs, because I'm ass at content creating. So just my normal streams Monday through Tuesday, and then obviously Friday. You're all here, you know about it. And if you're watching on YouTube, then we also stream this live on my channel 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Bearded Wolverine. So other than that, I mean, I don't know. I know SMS is watching. Obviously, we have Arma in chat. This was a pretty good video or podcast to understand what the community is asking for when we're asking for communication, right? We don't want you to tell us when you're wiping your ass. We want you to tell us that, hey, I had a good shit this morning. All right. We're happy with it. We don't need to know that you wiped your ass. If you didn't, you didn't. That's on you. All right. But just give us information, you know?
What an analogy, bro. What the fuck am I listening to? Like, as I was listening that, I'm like, what the fuck is he saying?
True analogy. I like that. All right. But no, I mean, communication. Where's Richter? Let us know what's going on. Have we fixed him? Have you think you fixed him? Anything. Give us something. You know, that's just an example. You know, tell us what you're working on. Another thing we don't know anything about is we know that Bellica was getting a rework, but we've heard nothing about Bellica since then. So give us more information. And that's a little tease for next week's episode.
I mean, I think the whole rework thing they were talking about was just her getting rid of her pet. And that's it, because it's already gone.
No, they talked about how they're going to work more on her passive, or what was going to happen with it. But yeah, we'll continue that conversation next week.
Heard. And then me myself, I mean, I'll be real with you. I'm always up to random content on different areas. Definitely got to get working on that video that fucking Bearded mentioned, because we do have another podcast that we talk about real world shit that happens, non-gaming related. That episode was just a little scuffed, but it was a file problem that we had, but we should be getting that one up soon. Right. But yeah, I mean, honestly, for me, guys, I just ask, shoot me a follow on whatever area you prefer. Like, you feel me? Whether it be Instagram, Twitter, whether it be Twitch, YouTube, just hit me with a follow. If you literally look up WinduTheMace anywhere, you're more than likely to find me. Legit. And if you go on any of my socials, my one link that takes you to all my pages is literally right there. But I appreciate everybody joining in. We appreciate everybody joining in. Thank you so much, everybody. And let us know. FPG says OnlyFans. Gotta click on the link to find out. Lamau. So we really do appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. And I mean, this episode is a very good example of, even though we don't necessarily have much that we've been given by Strange Matters, we're still gonna try and create content for you guys, right? We're still gonna try and spice and shit up. Like we'll talk with the community, we'll engage with the community. There's a reason why we do these live, of course. But yeah, just go watch that shit even after the fact on YouTube, because that shit definitely does make a difference. Leave a like, leave a comment, and we will catch you all on the next one. Peace.
Peace.